The following video delves into one of North Australia's most chilling crocodile attacks in recent history. In May of 2016, Cairns woman Leanne Mitchell met up with her best friend Cindy Waldron at northern Queensland's remote Thornton Beach. Having flown up for a weekend getaway to celebrate a hard-fought victory against cancer, a rejuvenated Leanne was by all accounts excited to start a new chapter in her life. And what better way to do this than a vacation with a friend that she'd met all the way back in high school?
We were at school together, yeah.
School friends?
High school, yep. She was 14 and I was 15. She was so loyal, so loving, so kind, so generous, so funny. Cindy was the sister that I chose for myself. I always wanted a sister and she was it.
Cindy and Leanne's bond was so strong, in fact, that even as life's journey took them on different paths, with Leanne moving to Cairns, they would, despite their distance, frequently keep in touch, leaning on each other during life's ups and downs. In times of joy as well as hardship, they were each other's anchor, an aspect of their friendship that would eventually become crucial, especially once Leanne's life had taken a fateful turn after receiving a devastating breast cancer diagnosis.
Oh, I'm not very good at this, but anyway, hello, hope you're good, love you, I'm okay, I'm much better, I'm alive.
It was during this extremely challenging time that Cindy would demonstrate just how unconditional her love, support, and not to mention her loyalty for Leanne really was, being not just a pillar of strength, but a friend that was the first, and perhaps only one, to offer such unwavering support and companionship.
Her life was always crazy busy, and I said, love, you just can't, you don't have time. And she said, doesn't work like that, does not work like that. I'm going to be there, whether or not, whatever you say, I'm going to be there. So she came the night before, and I remember I've got a photo that's the screensaver on my phone. So we were huddled there together, and it's so apparent on my face that I'm scared stiff. And Cindy's got a look on her face, which is, she just looks like she's got it. She's got it. I've got you, babe. I've got you.
It was with Cindy's support that Leanne completed the grueling treatment and would eventually receive good news that her cancer was in remission. It was at this point that the girls were not just relieved, but ecstatic, and would thus plan what turned out to be a fateful weekend getaway, just the two of them.
We were just so full of this joy of being together in that place, alone. Because we've been friends since we were little girls, when it was just her and I, it was like being little girls again.
On that fateful day in May of 2016, an excited Leanne and Cindy packed up their car and made the trip north to Daintree Rainforest, where they'd planned to stay at a friend's place on the beach. This far north region of Queensland is remote, and though it's undoubtedly beautiful, it's also located right in the heart of Croc country. Upon arrival at the hotel, it wasn't long before an eager Cindy and Leanne would check into their hotel rooms and head out to the beach to start their celebration.
We just wanted to run around, and that was exactly what we did. And in the process of doing that, we ended on the water's edge. We ended up on the water's edge, ear to here. It was really dark. Cindy's back was to the water and mine was to the beach. And we were laughing, and then Cindy cried out to me, and she said, it's got me. And I thought that it was just that fright that you get when you're in the water and something like seaweed brushes you. And so I put my arms out, and she took my arms, and I said, I've got you, Pat. I've got you. It's okay, I've got you. And she was holding me, and I was holding her. We were pulled. We were pulled. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Both arms, we had our arms wrapped around each other. The force was incredible. And in that, I lost one arm. I lost this arm. I'm still holding her, and it stopped. We stopped, and we'd travelled a big distance. I couldn't feel the ground any longer. Couldn't feel anything under my feet. And I've put my hand out. I realised there was something, and I put my hand out, and I felt the top of its head. Then I started trying to punch and trying to hit and trying to fight. And I was screaming and just trying to fight. And then all of a sudden we were taken again with the same amount of force. We were taken. And I held on as much as I could. I was clawing onto her arm, and I was trying to get the other arm up to try and grab her. And I couldn't. And then she was gone. I dived down and I couldn't see anything, and I was feeling around, frantically trying to feel and diving down and trying to feel for anything. I was trying to feel, and I had to recognise what it was, and I knew I had to get help. I knew that Cindy's best chance would be for me to get help quickly, and the only help I could give was by screaming Cindy's name. Screaming for her to come back.
After the horrifying attack, Leanne was quickly taken to the hospital with serious injuries, including puncture wounds on her arm that she sustained while trying to save Cindy. As she coped with the immense shock and physical trauma of the incident, an extensive search operation meanwhile unfolded. Police and SES volunteers would set up strategically placed crocodile traps and meticulously comb the land and water around Daintree National Park in search of any signs of Cindy. During this time, Cindy's father Pat and sister Annalie Annette would be informed of the tragic news and immediately make their way from New Zealand to Cairns. They would then journey to Thornton Beach, assumed to be the last known chapter in Cindy's adventure-filled life. There, amidst the waves and wind, they would acknowledge the search team's dedication, and Pat, with a hint of his daughter's intrepid spirit, shared fond memories of Cindy's passion for outdoor adventure, and also noted that she would have been well aware of the risks that came with each one of them. It wasn't until a month later that wildlife authorities would finally capture and euthanize a 4.3-meter saltwater crocodile near the site of the attack, and after performing a necropsy, they would inside this croc find the remains of Cindy, the grim discovery bringing at least some semblance of closure to Leanne as well as her family.
Your feet on the ground, you've got the beautiful water around your legs. I didn't realise. Somebody just said to me the other day that they only need something like, 30 centimetres of water or something. I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that.
Do they need to be reduced in areas where people are going about the business of their lives, where the weather is beautiful year-round? Yeah. And if it's going to prevent attacks and deaths? Yeah. And if it's going to be in areas where we wouldn't ordinarily presume them to be? Yeah. It's common sense, isn't it?
If this episode piqued your interest, then our previous episode, featuring yet another fatality by Crocodile, this one coming just earlier this year, where a 29-year-old professional soccer player was attacked and killed by a crocodile, is likely to do the same. You can find it on the end screen of this video.